Test, test. We're live? Yeah, we're live. It didn't work the first time. I've got a slider on my mic and I didn't push it hard enough. Good morning, everybody. We're now unmuted. We are back with some more Skyrim. We have... Today is Friday. That Crimson Desert video last night, man. I gotta say, I'm still... I still haven't heard if it's got a story mode or if it's only going to be one difficulty, and I don't know. My concern when I first saw all the footage, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, was that it looked like it was going to be a Dragon's Dogma 2 type game, and I didn't really care for that too much because it was just endless monster slaying. But from what I saw last night, it actually looks like it's going to have a ton of different variety and content, lots of different quests that you can work on, fully voiced, all that stuff. Man, I haven't even had my first cup of coffee. It's 4 minutes into the stream, and Face Fister Plays just raided me with a party of 11 over on Twitch. Thank you for that. I'm not awake yet, but thank you for the raid. Welcome to the beginning of the stream, everybody. We are live, as always, on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and TikTok, so if you want to watch along, you can choose your poison. Everything in between the streams happens on YouTube, so make sure to get over there. This is the day job. We play a lot of games. We've got the new release schedule starting in a few days. February is going to be jam-packed. We've got Dune Awakening, the DLC, Chapter 3, Norse, Oath of Blood, Styx, Blades of Greed, High on Life 2, and Towerborn are all going to be played next month. We're currently playing Skyrim, Tainted Grail, and just random stuff as I feel like it, because we're still technically in my holidays, which last until the end of January every year. We start about Christmas time and we go until the end. And this is the block when I play all the games that I've never played before or things that I want to replay. Like last year we did the entire Mass Effect series from start to finish, all 4 games. Because yes, there are 4, you fucking idiots. This year we played a lot of Skyrim. We did Fallout 76. We were doing Elder Scrolls Online, and I totally got sidetracked with that for Skyrim. So, yeah, I'm slightly concerned by that, Allie. Slightly. Just because, I don't know, I like it when there's an adjustable difficulty. But if, I'll deal with it. Right, I think what you're saying, I think that goes back to how I think the game was designed to probably be an MMO when it was first concepted, and then they've changed it over the years. Thanks, Fister, I appreciate that. You love watching me play Skyrim, thank you. And I will have a great day in the stream. Hopefully you have a great day as well. Thank you so much for the raid. Good morning, Sushi. I am absolutely excited for the new Mass Effect game and the next Dragon Age game. Love those games. Love BioWare. Love the entire franchise. I'm excited for the next Fallout game, the next Elder Scrolls game, more Starfield. I love all the things. This is a badass backpack, right? Bleeder, this is part of the Anniversary Edition stuff for Skyrim. Anyway, good morning, everybody. We've got a whole bunch of people joining in. Dawnguard might be the prettiest overworld location of the game. I mean, it definitely has a cool look. So, on to Skyrim this morning. We finished the Mage Guild quest yesterday, which was so good. I'm going to do a post recap. I do think that I still enjoyed the Thieves Guild storyline more, but I think now the Mage Guild has a second place for me in Skyrim. The Mage Guild quest was really, really good. We are going to do this again. Now, I've already done this DLC on my first character. I am going to repeat this because I want Serana as my companion, and I want this character to become a vampire. I did not become a vampire with my first character, but this is my mage. I'm a dark elf. We're definitely going vamp. We're definitely going to have Serana as a companion. So we're gonna go ahead and do this DLC. I'll probably, I don't know how this is a quickie-ish, but we're gonna be working on this the next couple of streams, and then after this, I think we're gonna go back to base game content and start working on seeing things that I haven't seen and like collecting masks and working on clearing the map. Probably. We'll see. We will eventually be doing the Dragonborn DLC, yes. Is it okay to install mods that give extra content? If you want to use them, go for it. I personally don't think that you should use mods until you've played the vanilla game and seen all of the vanilla content. But if you've already seen all the vanilla content, mod away. First 2 playthroughs, I didn't put any mods in. This playthrough, I activated all the anniversary mods because I wanted the backpack and other stuff. I wanted the tower so that I could go have a cool tower to live in as a mage.
Here to join the Dawn Guard? Good. Isran will decide if you've got what it takes. Go on, he's right inside.
Originally an MMO, but they pivoted. A dev said recently in an interview that the game can be as easy or as hard as you want it to be. Well, I mean, if it's zone-based, that makes sense. Like, this zone is 10 to 20, this zone is 20 to 30, this zone is 30 to 40. I mean, that makes sense.
Why are you here, Tolan? The Vigilance and I were finished with each other a long time ago.
You know why I'm here. The Vigilants are under attack everywhere. The vampires are much more dangerous than we believed.
And now you want to come running to safety with the Dawn Guard. Is that it? I remember Keeper Carset telling me repeatedly that Fort Dawn Guard is a crumbling ruin, not worth the expense.
Yeah, exactly,
and
Carl
manpower to
Amos.
repair.
Go vanilla, and
now
after
you've
that,
stirred
do the mods all you
vampires
want.
against you, you come begging for my protection.
Isran, Carset is dead. The Hall of the Vigilance, everyone, they're all dead. You were right, we were wrong. Isn't that enough for you?
Yes, well, I never wanted any of this to happen. I tried to warn all of you. I am sorry, you know. So who are you? What do you want?
Pity they didn't release more story DLC. I mean, you can't expect a company to perpetually and forever release DLC, no matter how much you love the game. Like, they put out several DLCs over the years, more than enough. And then the cool thing is the creation store. So there are so many, like the Bard's College, and you know, this is where Bethesda allows other people to play in their sandbox, and you can have an infinite number of story DLCs if you go to the creation store and play through all that content as well. So, I mean, at some point, yeah, a company, if it's a good game, getting 2 or 3 DLCs is a nice bonus, icing on the cake. But beyond that, I want the company to build the next game. Like, you know, cool, you gave me some DLCs. Now go off and make Fallout 4, please. Oh, you made Fallout 4? Cool. Make me Starfield. You gave me Starfield? Okay. Go back and give me Elder Scrolls 6. P.S. Hurry up on Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, I don't mind the forced protagonist alley if the story is good. An example of that would be the God of War series, right? Especially the last 2, God of War Ragnarok, where you're only playing as the God of War. Like, when it's a good story done like that, I don't have a problem with it. But otherwise, I do prefer making my own character. I also loved, like, Star Wars Outlaws, K-Vess, Chef's Kiss. That was a super fun character to play. So there are times when a forced protagonist, because you know what, I really hate it, and I think you and I are on the same page with this, Ellie, is when, like, you do it in like Path of Exile, where it's like you're not allowed to have a male sorcerer. It has to be a female sorceress, and it's like, fuck off. I really just want to play a male magic user, you know? But no, I gotta play a female magic user. those are the games where I'm just kind of like, come on, really? It's just let me choose. By the way, where's the outrage over those games? You're forcing me to play a female. This game is woke. That just goes to show you that all that outrage is purely forced and invented. Anytime someone rants about, it's a body slider, they didn't give me a choice. It's like, I don't hear you bitching about Path of Exile 2, bitch. Shut up. Shut up. Single game save files. Yeah, I'm not a fan of. I mean, it's just, I don't like it. I will rail against it. Diablo 4 is gonna be fun. April. April, I only have 2 games on the list at the moment, which is Diablo 4 expansion and Saros. I don't know if there's anything else coming in April, so I should be able to sink plenty of time into the new Diablo 4 expansion and create a paladin.
Well, ready to join the fight against the damn vampires?
What can I do to help?
I need someone out in the field taking the fight to the damn vampires, while we're getting the fort back into shape. Tolan was telling me about some cave the Vigilants were poking around in. Seemed to think it was related to these recent vampire attacks. Tolan, tell him about, what was it? Dim Hollow.
Yes, that's it. Dim Hollow Crypt. Brother Adelwald was sure it held some long-lost vampire artifact of some kind. We didn't listen to him any more than we did Isran. He was at the hall when it was attacked.
That's good enough for me. Go see what the vampires were looking for in this Dim Hollow Crypt. With any luck, they'll still be there.
Yeah, but even Warframe does that, Allie, and I was really
Good for
disappointed
taking out those
because
fiends before they get close. Feel
I
free
went
poke
to,
around the fort and take what you need.
put
There isn't much
Warframe on the
here, but you're welcome to
PS5
anything you can use.
like 2
I'll
years,
meet
2
with
months
Dim
ago, 3
Hollow.
months ago,
It's the least I can do to avenge my fallen comrades.
because I wanted to
Tolan,
play it
I
again.
don't
I hadn't
think
played
that's
it
a good
in 5,
idea.
6 years, and I wanted to create a
You
new
Vigilants
character,
would
go
never
through the
train
game
like
again,
that.
learn how to play it and everything, and then it immediately logged me into my PS4 save file, and I was like, I don't want to play that. And it's like they have it locked
do not have to face
to-
the same test and be found wanting.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to Dim Hollow Crypt. Perhaps I can be of some small assistance to you.
You there, boy. Stop skulking in the shadows and step up here. What's your name?
My name is Agmir, sir.
All right. You just made a Skyrim vampire character, fully chaotic, evil vampire lord. Nice. Mods or no, I am running all the anniversary edition stuff. These kids still haven't made next Elder Scrolls game? Of course they haven't. They have multiple IPs. They went forth and made Fallout 4. They went and did Starfield. Working on the Fallout TV show. Working on DLCs for Starfield. And they're currently working on Elder Scrolls 6. They're developers. So a lot of people seem to forget that back when Bethesda used to release games in a franchise more frequently, they were a one-game studio. They haven't been a one-game studio for a long time. So Bethesda is a game company that has multiple franchises, multiple IPs. And so yeah, it takes a lot longer to get new entries into any of the individual franchises because they are working on new games and DLCs for their new projects. I'm fine with that. Like, I play 40 games every year. It's not like I'm sitting here waiting on Bethesda. Hurry up, Bethesda. I have 30, 40 other games I'm going to go play every year. And it's like, whenever they release new stuff, I'm there. I'm happy to play it. Take your time. Let it cook. Don't give a shit if it takes 12 years for the next Elder Scrolls game. Because in the meantime, I'll get more Starfield. More Fallout. Whatever. Insert. Yeah, exactly. They usually take 3 to 4 years between main game releases, so they're right on schedule. Exactly. Starfield was 2 years ago. They're completely on schedule now. All right. Opinion on Tainted Grail. I'm already playing Tainted Grail, and if you want my review, I dropped a review of the first playthrough last year. We're currently on a second playthrough, working on a key from Awakened Realms.
Isran
Shout out
found
to the
something
company
for
for
you
that.
to do, eh? I thought he'd like you. Good luck. Need something?
You don't care about other Bethesda titles? Man, you are shooting yourself in the foot by not giving
Need
a shit
something?
about other Bethesda titles, because they make great games across the board. But I get it. You know, some people prefer Fallout, some people prefer Starfield, some people prefer Elder Scrolls. Some people don't like science fiction. Some people don't like post-apocalyptic. Some people don't give a shit about elves and fantasy. So I get it. I get it. But for me, I'm like, you're shooting yourself in the foot if you don't go play all their games. Because the same people work on all of the games. It's the same crew for the in-house games. In-house Fallout 3 remaster? Ooh, no. Please no. Farm that shit out. Do it just like they did the Oblivion remaster. Farm it out. That's a disgruntled ex-employee, Sushi, and I have no doubts that creative differences happened. But I can tell you, as someone who has founded multiple companies now, specifically 2 game studios, but also I have founded multiple companies and led multiple teams now across lots of different projects. There are always going to be creative differences, and sometimes people get passed over for promotions for various reasons, and if that person leaves because they got passed over for a promotion, that's fine, but it's pretty shitty of them to come back after 20 years or 15 years or whatever and start doing interviews and be like, I should have been the person to do this, that, and the other. Nah. And I'm bitter after 15, 20 years. I'm still bitter about it. It's like, bitch, you chose to move on. Like, I get that creative differences happen, but I have no sympathy for people who come back, 15, 20 years later and make interviews and complain about, like, I should have been the person. They said this, that, or the other. I'll tell you a story. We've talked about this publicly. So the last gig that I did before I went full-time on this project, I had been working for a startup company in a side capacity. I knew and I had worked with one of the founders on a couple of other projects over the years in my public speaking career. And she and someone else had founded this company. And they originally consulted with me. And we came in and consulted. And then after 3 months of consulting, they said, hey, do you want to just take care of this on a part-time basis? And I said, sure. And that led to them coming and saying, hey, we really would like you to come on full-time with the option to pivot to the director of marketing role. And I said, okay, but there are these conditions, but I'm down for that. So I did that, and in the year that I was full-time, they sold to investors. They sold a portion of their company to investors. The investors came in and said, we've decided we're going to pivot for diversity reasons, and we're going to have, because the studio is founded by women, we want this to be a women-founded, women-led company. So we're going to pivot, and we're looking for diversity hires. And the investors basically booted me out the door in favor of a diversity hire marketing lead. And I had paperwork and all this other stuff, and I could have fought it, but it was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let them go off and do their thing. I would rather go full-time on my channel. Or what I could have done is been all bitter and bitchy about it, and did interviews, and went to court, and done all this other stuff, and probably won because I had paperwork and everything. But what's the point? Like, creative differences happen. The investors want something different. Why? I'm not going to sit there and fight it. Like, I've got other things I can go do with my life. And so I pivoted and I went full time on this. So I think in that case, like I said, creative differences happen. And if you're a professional, this happens all the time with actors and directors on shows and movies. Like, somebody will get hired for the role. Famously, Stuart Townsend was supposed to be Aragorn in the Lord of the Rings films, had even filmed for weeks. Eric, what's his name, was going to be Marty McFly in Back to the Future, had shot multiple weeks on set and then got fired. Like, these things happen. And you don't see those actors going off and making upset interviews. You don't see the directors going off and pissing off. Because the thing is if you do that, you're never really going to work again in that industry. Like, so it's water under the bridge. You're professional about it. You just move on. You don't name names. You don't get pissy about it. You just do the thing. So yeah, I have seen that. And the unfortunate thing for me, Sushi, is how many of the grifters out there have used that as fuel to say things like, oh, this is why Bethesda sucks. And this is why Todd Howard's a dick and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, okay, whatever. Low IQ take, smooth brain take on a very complicated situation where it's just creative differences. Things happen, But I think it was very unprofessional of him to come back 15, 20 years later and make all those interviews that are making the rounds right now and the things that are being said. It's like that. I would never work with him professionally after seeing that, ever. He is now off the list of potential people to work with the company. Because if you badmouth people like that, like, you're just not... You have no professionalism at that point. You've lost your professional credibility. That is my opinion on that situation. Sushi says, yeah, I think he's mad that he's not the man for the job. A lot of the things he said that he wanted to do with the Elder Scrolls 6 sound against the Elder Scrolls wouldn't have worked as well. What we might end up getting, I think some of the stuff he says is true and valid. But right, yeah, it's creative differences. It's not that the things he said were untrue. It's that they were creative differences. And if you're not the founder of the studio, and if you're not an executive, and if you're not a person who is in that chain of command, you sort of have no room to talk. You can be disgruntled, for sure, but, like, I just don't have any sympathy for that, because I have been in a creative difference situation as both the owner of a company and as someone who's working with somebody else, and it doesn't matter. Professionalism means water under the bridge. You move on. And I have been involved in lawsuits. Those of you who have been around long enough know that there have been lawsuit stuff. Like, that's a part of business sometimes. It's a shitty part of business. But you'll also notice that we don't talk about that stuff. Like, if there's active litigation happening, your only answer is, I can't talk about that right now. Like, there's active litigation taking place. Can't talk about it. Like, the only people who talk about that kind of stuff in public, like I said, have no professionalism, and that's why they are employees and not company founders. All right, we are going over here to do some vampires. Right? I think that's a very good question, Allie. Let me ponder the way to think about that for a second. That's funny. TikTok just gave me a warning for talking about sensitive topics and harassment. Come on, TikTok. Literally, we're talking about diversity hires, and you're like, harassment. Eric Stoltz was awesome in Pulp Fiction. I read all the chats. I don't have to answer every single comment that comes through. So Ali asked, do you think your acceptance of the decision for them to pivot to the diversity position is reflective of your own views regarding diversity? I do think that diversity is important in the workplace. However, I think there is a right way and a wrong way to do it. Investors coming in and making a decision to pivot a company that had previously not been about that subject is definitely forced diversity, and I think that forced diversity is wrong. I think that diversity, for the purpose of ensuring everyone has fair opportunities, is extremely important. And I think that if you have a company that is, say, an older company that, I made this comment back when I was still running the MMO studio. We were looking for, I think we were hiring for programmers at the time. And I put out a call for programmers. And over the course of and I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact numbers because it was like 10 years ago or something. I remember there being like a 6-week period of time where we were accepting applications. And I remember making a post on Facebook about how I was sort of boggled after like 3 weeks of sorting through applications because there were zero female applicants after like weeks and weeks of time. And I remember making a post about how, people who get upset about diversity in the workplace, I was like, there's also this flip side of wanting to be diverse, but not being able to be diverse because there are no females or minority people who are applying for the jobs. I mean, I'm looking through this stack of resumes and it's all white dudes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all talented individuals, but it's all white guys. Like, there are no Ethiopian programmers, there's no transgender programmers, like there's no diversity in my hiring pool. So there are certain cases where you want to be diverse and you want to give all the right people opportunities and you want to make sure that you're giving opportunities to as many people as possible, but you can't because there's nobody in that field. It's also like if you look at plumbing or electrical work, it is very rare to find a female who is going to be in the hiring pool to be an electrician or a plumber or a sewage worker or a trash collector. Like, you're going to find some, but it's hard. So I think that in those cases you might want to be diverse, but you can't be because there's nobody in that hiring pool, as an example. But I do think that it's important if you're receiving lots of different applications. Obviously, it's important to give the job to the right person, who's the most talented, the right person for that position. But if you have 100 people and it's like 90%, and you look at the other rest of your hires and that's all like 90% white dudes, I think it is important that you cast a wider net and look at making sure that you have representation from people who would be overlooked in many other places, whether it's someone who's transgender, LGBTQ+, a minority person who might not speak English that great. All of those things are important. But I think the way that it happened in my situation was one of those classic forced examples where it's like the investors come in, the investor wants to make sure that they are hitting all those check marks that like Amazon Studios has for their new shows. And they're like, oh, wait, the company is founded by women. We need to make sure that this is we're going to pivot the message of the company. The message of the company is now going to be women-founded, women-led. And so we can't have an old white dude because at the time I had like a 2.5-year beard and I still had my long hair. So, here's this long-haired, white, bearded, mid-40s dude working for the company. Yeah, that's not going to fly. Like, so the way, but it is what it is, it's like, I do think, oh, that's another good question. Allie's asking some hard-hitting questions this morning. Do I think part of the reason for why diverse people aren't applying is largely due to being discouraged to do so by stigma? No. I think in certain cases maybe, But I do think that when you talk about jobs like programming, it has been so predominantly gaming as an industry, as an example, has been so predominantly male driven for decades that I think that that's just the evolution of that industry hasn't necessarily caught up yet. We're still very male dominated in games as a whole. There are more women playing games. Way more women playing games today. It's rising up to like 50-50. But if you go back 10, 15 years ago, that wasn't the case. And so as much as the people playing the games are mostly male, the people who are applying for the jobs to make games are mostly male. Now, other industries, it might be a little less clear. Management, accounting, bookkeeping, things of that nature. But another male-dominated industry is construction. I worked construction for years as a third-generation contractor. And back when I was working, it was like there were no women on job sites. I remember at the time when I was my girlfriend at the time, who was from Bulgaria, came on a job site with me and was working with me up in Steamboat Springs, Colorado for, I don't remember, like 2 months. She came and worked. She was coming up to the job sites with me. And like the first week that she showed up on the job site with me, she was this little thin Eastern European waif girl, you know, gorgeous and just, you know, but she's out there helping me on a job site, and just there's 75 dudes on this job site, and they're all just like salivating because there's this chick on the job site, and it's y'all are like, these are because that's all they know is dudes, and so they go to the strip club after work, and that's where they get their kicks, and they literally can't handle the fact that there's a woman on the job because they can't close their mouths, you know, and just these days, I can go on TikTok or Instagram and I can find plenty of female construction workers who have accounts. They're doing drywall, they're doing electrical work, they're carpenters. That didn't exist 20 years ago. So if you asked me that question 20 years ago, do I think the reason for why diverse people aren't applying is due to being discouraged or by stigma? I think it may not necessarily have been the stigma, but definitely that's a man's world, honey. Stay out of it, And by man, I don't necessarily mean, women don't apply, but I mean anybody who's not a blue-blooded, blue-collared man. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I think we are definitely moving in the right direction. Not fast enough for my personal tastes. I think there's way too much stigma still. But yeah, those are some really good questions. Stubman says, my mom owns a construction company, and for the crews, she wishes she could be more diverse. She's been able to hire somebody of minority for the crews, which is great, but she wishes she could have women or trans people on the job, but all the applicants are mostly white males. No, it's legit. It's legit. Do I ever play games, or do I just sit and yap? I do both, but if you're tuning in for the first time, Ravon, I have a community. This is my day job. And part of what my job is as an entertainer is when somebody asks me intelligent questions, I give them intelligent answers. And then we take these videos and we clip them and we put them out on YouTube, which generates ad revenue and memberships and subscriptions. And then I make short content around that, which goes out on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts and Blue Sky and Facebook and Twitter X and Discord, and makes me even more money and builds the following and brings more people like you to the stream. That's how this works. It's called content creation and full-time streaming. Welcome aboard. Many different fields. Yeah, there's lots of different fields. Yeah, Yap sessions, exactly, Sushi. That's the reason. That's the reason we have the community we have after 4 years of doing this full time. What made me go from construction to creating art? How did that door open? I was fascinated with science fiction and fantasy from the time I was a kid. And I used to... Hang on, I'll have to talk about that in a second. I used to just write science fiction and fantasy for fun when I was younger. And I always wanted to be a science fiction and fantasy author. And I just never was able to, the internet didn't exist when I was a kid. You just reminded me that I didn't actually timestamp that one, Allie. Is live always this early? It is. Anyway, the internet didn't exist when I was growing up. So I was forced into, I was a dairy farmer and a construction worker because that's what my dad did and that's what his brothers did. And that's what his dad did. And I hated every moment of it. But with the power of the internet, I was able to finally do what I always wanted to do, which was pursue writing.
Who in Dagon's name are you?
So
Speak, or I'll cut you down where you stand.
I lost a big contract at the end of 2007 for my construction company, and the business had already plummeted. I went from making like 100+ grand a year to making $30,000. So it was a massive, like a 75% drop in jobs and availability post 9/11. So I had like a $75,000 contract I'd been working on, and the owners decided to choose somebody else at the last minute. And I had paperwork. I could have taken them to court, but it would have costed me probably 50 grand to go to small claims court in like a year of my life. And I decided rather than just do that, I was just going to get out. So I sold my truck, sold my tools, fired my 2 guys, disbanded the S Corp, and I moved to Bulgaria with my then partner. And the very first month we were there, we went on a ski trip to Bonsko in the mountains by Greece. And it was a family ski trip. They were all off skiing, and I stayed in the hotel room and just wrote a short story. Sent it off. The first place I sent it to accepted it, published it, and I went full-time as a writer immediately. So what I had always wanted to do, I had never had the opportunity to do. I was presented with the opportunity to do it. I took it, and I ran with it, and that was the beginning of moving into completely different career paths. And yeah. Since then, it's just been an evolution of needing to learn. I had to learn social media. I had to learn how to do Photoshop. I had to learn Lightroom. I had to learn blah 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 blah. And I have been freelance. I was freelance for however many years. Yep. I clip everything. I clip VODs, videos, and beyond.
Suit yourself. Never should have come here.
Hang on. I gotta load because I was talking too long. She got pissy. Stunman says the rare time a woman would join the crew, of all the comments about her would be insane. I'm like, she's here to work and not wanting to be sexualized. She would roll with the punches. Yeah, my ex did fine, but it was still just annoying because that kind of stuff is like, there is a reason why those guys are stuck. Like, it's not that there's anything wrong with working construction, but at the same time, blue-collar construction worker guys have a very limited headspace. Some of them, anyway. It's literally
What the?
beers, beers, bros, and bitches. It's literally what it is: beers, bros, and bitches. And that mentality it's very difficult to find somebody who's not in that job, who isn't part of that hive mind of, I'm just gonna hit stuff with the hammer and then I'm gonna go to the strip club and blow all my money on boobs and beers. They really don't know how to handle the real world in a lot of cases. And you get a lot of ex-cons and ex-felons, and they're good at swinging a hammer, but they're man, you're asking a lot if you want them to treat other people with any sort of respect for their sexuality or preferences, right? Yeah, the boys club is still very much a thing. Well, there's technically, that lore is all on my YouTube channel in the various videos. I'm always happy to yap. Going back to that guy on TikTok who's like, do you ever actually play the games? I do, but you ask me about something that I'm passionate about talking about, or you ask me about me, I am narcissistic to a fault. I have an ego the size of the planet. You want me to stroke my own ego? Fuck yeah, let's spend 15 minutes talking about how much cool shit I've done in my life. Like, I have no problems talking about that. And somewhere in there, I will figure out a way to market my current stuff. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams at 5 a.m. on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and TikTok. There's a Discord. There's a Patreon. There's a merch store. There's a bookstore. There's a Homestead channel, even. And I do play a lot of games. Companies pay me to play games. Plus, I play some of my own games for fun. You should follow along for more. Plug. You know what? I keep forgetting to not grab my unicorn because he has all-terrain traction. Alright, this chick was getting attacked.
No. Who in Dagon's name are you? Speak, or I'll cut you down where you stand.
So she literally tells you, talk to me or I'll kill you. Wait, what's going on here?
I was part of the gang in the ruins here. Friend of mine went crazy and stole the boss's sword. They blamed me for it.
Okay.
Look, I'm done here. Mop the floor with these idiots for all I care. Just get out of my way.
Cool. Side quest. Yes. I worked with some really cool people when I was in construction. There was one guy I became pretty good friends with over the course of a few years. His dad had hired me, and he was a couple years younger than me, but his dad treated me really, really well and paid me really well. And he was a cool kid. He'd been to prison for some stupid stuff he did when he was younger. He had learned his lesson, and he was trying to make a better life for himself. And he was doing an admirable job, and he was a good kid who had just made some stupid decisions. And, you know, I was someone who lived on my own from the time I was 16. Trust me, I made some very stupid decisions when I was younger, and I am very surprised that I never wound up on the wrong side of the authorities. I was in a lot of situations where I could have, and I didn't. It was always other people that got in trouble, and I was just sort of in the peripherals going, woohoo, dodge that bullet. A lot of stories I could tell that I can't talk about on streams.
I decided I preferred clean clothes.
But, I mean, we were pre-internet, like, you know, pre-social media, like... How the frack are we getting up there, by the way? Do I have to go all around to the back side, maybe? I do not remember. Where can I find more? That's the YouTube. Am I retired? I mean, I probably could be if I wanted to, but no. This is the day job. And it has been for 4 years. I've got our 5th year anniversary coming up on February 17th is when we are going into our 5th year of doing this full time. I cannot for the life of me remember if we have to go around the eastern side or the western side here. I sure as shit don't see anything. There's no way I'm getting up that, am I? No. Curse of only having done this once is I have no recollection. Aha! There we go. That's definitely a way up. But we're on the western side, right? Yes. Oh, did I hit an unclimbable? It's not letting me jump. It's like, that's as far as you're allowed to climb. Oh, that's really annoying how once you're on a collider, it's like you're not allowed to use the jump. Oop, oop, oop. There's no way. Yeah, that's not a viable way up. Have I played World of Warcraft in the past? Yep. I've also played Star Wars Republic, Lord of the Rings Online, EverQuest 1, EverQuest 2, Guild Wars 1, Guild Wars 2. I've played many, many, many live service MMOs over the years. I don't really play group content anymore, and I haven't for a few years. I do still play live service games, like we just did Fallout 76. We've done a little bit of Elder Scrolls Online over the past few months. I still play Lord of the Rings Online occasionally, but I don't play them multiplayer anymore. I haven't for years. I play single player stuff pretty much exclusively, or I play single player exclusively these days. Just me, myself, and I. And occasionally I'll do group stuff. I know like Ali and Lou have jumped in and done some Destiny 2 with me when I've needed help. Alright, I am completely miffed. Fuck, do we get up there? I feel like I might want to go back and grab my unicorn so we can get over here. Parkour! Parkour! OG Mastermind says, just started playing again. It's so much fun. It is fun. Have I played the remastered edition of Oblivion? Yep. Loved it. It was great. We got a playlist up on YouTube from last year. While we're waiting for this, I'll be right back. My wife is up. What is OSRS? I'm not familiar with that terminology. Do we got a ban a bitch, Allie? Do we have somebody trying to claim that Bethesda is slop garbage on YouTube? I've been peripherally ignoring that guy, but I'm questioning now. Have I ever tried survival mode in this game? No, I have no desire to play survival mode here. What's up, Lou? Alright, my wife has received her morning hugs and kisses. She's drinking coffee. I guess we go all the way around. I do not see a path up. Yeah, we just did a video about that topic, last week? How graphics and mechanics are a personal, subjective opinion. And everybody has a personal opinion, a subjective opinion, on what is too old as far as graphics or mechanics. Yeah. Yeah, that's a purely subjective thing. Like, personally, as an example, I think Fallout New Vegas is too old for me to play graphically and mechanically wise. Phenomenal game. Phenomenal game. But totally outdated in terms of graphics and mechanics. And I don't enjoy playing things. Like, I don't enjoy playing it because it's too old. What was the other example I gave the other day? Oh, it's definitely this side. It's on the back side. I need to remember this for future reference. Back over in here. Knights of the Old Republic, another phenomenal game, which I have great love for. Went back and played it this past summer just for funsies, and graphically and mechanically, it is way too outdated. For me, personally. But other people may still have great enjoyment of that game, and they don't care about the graphics, or they don't care about the quality of life features as much as I do. Know how that works? Do you guys see how that works, right? It's a subjective thing. Like, I might not enjoy it, but you might. And you should definitely go out there and try those things for yourself. Don't base it off of my opinion. So, are the graphics in Skyrim outdated by 2026 standards? Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. For me personally, they don't fall under the too old to play category. But Morrowind does. I don't enjoy the graphics of Morrowind. I think Morrowind is way too outdated for me to personally play, but there are still people who love to play Morrowind. It's a subjective thing. But it's not a fact that Skyrim has bad graphics. Is it a fact that it's a 15-year-old game? Absolutely. But are the graphics bad because it's 15 years old? That is subjective. You, Humbug9855, don't dictate what everyone else gets to think. So you need to preface your statements by saying, in my opinion... See, it's okay. I have no problem doing an educational class this morning on how to react and how to talk and how to be a human being in the modern era and be respectful with your opinions instead of you know... No, it's not. It's not subjective. It's objectively bad. My opinion is the only opinion that matters. It's not how that works. Jules said, college football bummed me out. I got sick, had to stay home. Couldn't find a journalism job in the sticks. Now I'm here. It's the manner in which you are presenting it, Humbug. So you need to take a lesson in tact. Because what you're stating is that your opinion is fact, and that's not how this works. Are the graphics in Crimson Desert more modern? Yes. Does that make them better? No. No, that's not how that works. Because for some people, this is better. For some people, Knights of the Old Republic graphics are better. Some people love Morrowind, and they're going to enjoy that art style better. For them, it's better. So you don't get to dictate that Crimson Desert is better simply because it looks better than Skyrim. Is it more modern than Skyrim? 100%. Different art style, more modern engine, different graphics. Better than? Subjective. Subjective. Fallout New Vegas is an incredible game, 10 out of 10, but there's a reason it's only $2.50 on Steam right now. Exactly, you know, it's 20 however years old now at this point. Amy says, what's up, Napier? How are you? Good morning. Amy says, I think that for Skyrim being a 15-year-old game, the graphics are still pretty good. I think so. Are they great? No, but the scenery graphics are outstanding. I think so as well. And also because you can mod these games, you can make them look like whatever you want. Like, there are mods out there. Like, Allie put a really good mod list in our Discord a while back, which I worked on tweaking a couple things, but I ultimately was having issues, so I just didn't do it. But her version of Skyrim looks completely different than my version of Skyrim, because she's playing with heavy modded landscapes and texture packs and all these different things. Like, so her version of Skyrim looks way different than mine. You know, different character models, different...
Vigilants never know when to give up. I thought we'd taught them enough of a lesson at their hall.
To come in here alone. A fool like all the rest of them. I feel the eyes of angry
He
spirits.
fought well. Jedon and
Wilson.
Wilson no match for him.
Ha! Those two deserved what they got. Their arrogance had become insufferable.
All this talk is making me thirsty. Perhaps another vigilant will wander in soon.
I wish Loki would hurry it up. I had half a mind to return to the castle and tell Harkon what a fool he's entrusted this mission to.
Exactly, like Dribrum says, you can mod Skyrim to look like a 4K realism game. So you can't really say that Skyrim looks bad. What you there's context to that entire conversation of the vanilla graphics in Skyrim are 15 years old at this point, but you can mod the game to look like a completely new modern game if you want to. So again, context is key. Understanding subjective opinion is key. All of that is very important. I might actually take those vampire boots. Hold up a minute. How do those look on my current outfit? Oh, they count as light armor though. No thanks. I can't have anything that counts as armor. Correct. When this game came out, it was like the pinnacle of realism and everything else. I do not think. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. What's this character's playthrough? This is a mage character, and I'm doing like a completionist version, so. What's your take on Sky Oblivion? Would you play it when it gets released? Nope, I don't play unofficial releases of anything. I only play licensed IPs. I play from the developers. End of story. Love Avowed. Played 2 playthroughs back to back. Can't wait to go back and do a third. I love everything Obsidian Entertainment makes, and I have ever since their very first game all those years ago. I have been here for all of the things they've done, and I love them as a company. We got 3 games from them last year, which is insane. They've come a long way since the old Neverwinter Nights 2 and KOTOR 2 days. Working as subcontractors on other people's IPs. Now they've got their own IPs and they kick ass. Okay. Humbug, you're being contentious just for the sake of being contentious, so we're going to go ahead and boot you. I'm like a cat who's played with his food too long. I no longer care to play with you anymore. Goodbye. That is clearly someone who dislikes Bethesda and is just being a dick to be a dick. And so if you're that kind of a person, I don't want you in my chat. I don't want you in my community. If you can't let yourself out and you can't take a hint, you get the boot. This goes for anybody listening right now. There's no such thing as a woke game. There's no such thing as a slop game. There's no such thing as a garbage game. There's no such thing as a shitty game developer. If you have opinions, keep them to yourself. I don't want to hear them. Anything related to those topics. We're here to play games, enjoy games, have fun playing games. We love all the companies. We love all the games they produce. This is entertainment. If you don't enjoy video games, find a new hobby. Go touch grass. It's not that hard. If you're going to be a contentious bitch, I will boot you from the chat. I don't play that game of like, which is more enjoyable? I'll tell you what's more enjoyable. The game I'm playing right now. That's right. I am the one and only yapper because I get paid to be here yapping. And you're here watching me, giving me your attention, your comments, your engagement. I am living rent-free in your head. If you don't like me yapping to my community, you probably shouldn't watch my streams because I don't just sit here and play games. I talk a lot. And if that bothers you because you're too low IQ to handle having a conversation or using words, because words are hard, words are big, words make my brain hurt, then you should probably go watch a different streamer. I did not need to pick up that longbow. That was a misclick. I don't need the crossbow either. Ugh. No, it's okay when they're being, you know, I'm okay with there being some discussion, Allie, but he just kept coming back. Like, that kind of stuff, I don't want you here. Like, you're just being contentious for the sake of being contentious at that point. Just being argumentative because you want to be a dick. Have I played Clair Obscur? I did play it for a little bit at launch, but they hadn't patched the story mode bugs out. And so I moved on and played other things, and they didn't patch until about 4 months after launch, and I was too busy to ever go back and play it again. I would like to circle back and actually complete it one day. I ended up just watching other people's playthroughs. Phenomenal game, but it had some issues. Same thing with the Altars. The Altars was a phenomenal game, but they had too many issues at launch. Like they had a setting in that game for streamer mode because they were using a lot of copyrighted music, and so the streamer mode was not working, and so every time I would go live I would get flagged for copyright violations on YouTube and Twitch, and it just got to be such an annoyance. And then they had an issue where one of the clones would get lost and it wouldn't allow you to save the game, and I lost like 4 days in game, like 4 days of real-time progress because of a bug. And I was like, at that point I was like, you know what, phenomenal game all around, but the bugs were too much at launch, so I moved on and played other things. And by the time they patched those bugs out, I was already busy with other stuff, so I just finished my playthrough by watching other people finish it. Another great game though. If you haven't played the Altars,
You would dare to trespass
phenomenal.
in these ruins.
This is the
Wisdom. You make up for in courage.
this is the vampire storyline. Yeah, it is crazy, Ski. But, you know, is it Ski or Sky? It's S-K-I. I'm assuming it's Sky. But yes, it's every morning. That's all good. We just ban them. It's all good. All right, and yes, I have played this storyline before, guys. We did this with the stealth archer character that I played for my very first playthrough. But I want to do the vampire storyline and become a vampire with this character. Oops. I didn't pick up anything, right? I didn't see anything flash across my screen. I think We're good. Myths of Sheogorath. ¿Qué pasa? Uh-huh. 1 second, guys. I gotta take my headset off. Sorry, Chris is taking trash out. She was asking what I did with one of the boxes of trash. Or bags of trash, sorry. I will take the amethyst, because at some point I'm going to do crafting. Oh, I want the bone meal too. No, I picked up the sword. Ah, no! I don't want all that heavy crap that's worthless. Yeah, well, we'll be playing Crimson Desert in March. Yep. Yeah, I'm still on the fence about certain aspects of the development, but I have decided I am going to go ahead and play it. I wasn't sure until this year. Like, all the stuff I saw leading up to last year, I was like, I don't know that I want to go spend 70, 80 bucks or whatever it's going to be. But I'll be honest with you, like, after I saw the video last night, I'm all in. I mean, I still have doubts about things, but I'll get whatever Ultimate Edition there is and go forth and play it, and we'll try it and see. And speaking of Skyrim on the smart fridge, or Skyrim on the Alexa, don't Key and Peele have a skit where he's playing Skyrim through Alexa? I could swear there's a skit out there where he has like played Bethesda via Alexa. I would have to go pull up the skit and share it in Discord, because I just watched it again like maybe 4 or 5 nights ago and reshared it on TikTok. It popped up in my feed. Did it for one of the game shows, maybe before E3 shut down. It's a skit, says Sushi. Yeah, it's from a while ago, yeah.
It is strange to think that these chambers were once home to the ancient North.
Give me all your glowing mushrooms. It was for the Skyrim Very Special Edition for E3 in 2018. They also did one for Hogwarts. Nice. Let me see if I have any new ingredients to suck down. Nope. Can I make any more potions? Oh, that's an enchantment table. Never mind. My brain was like, alchemy! Man, I'll tell you what, this place was so annoyingly dark when I came down here the first time, and having this lantern mod has like changed my life.
I knew it.
So shout out to Bubbleoni for letting me know about the wearable lantern mod, because this thing kicks ass. Here, I'll turn it off here in a second. You guys can see how dark it is. It was really annoying. I had to go get the... I remember this... I think this was the quest line where I backed out and went and got the mage light spell so that I could actually have light. And then I found out about this mod later. Like, I'm sorry. That is annoyingly dark.
What the?
So, turn that torch back on. Oh, do we have somebody trying to circumvent their ban by coming back with another account? Whatever. Hang on. So we got rid of that guy on YouTube. I think we have to get rid of a TikTok troll as well. Yeah, where's this David asshole? Bye-bye. Banning you. Block account. Yeah, he's gone, guys. Stop talking. Play the game. Everybody's like, I love. By the way, thanks to all of you in the TikTok chat who are like, dude, you don't have to sit here and what. Thanks for being here and hanging out for the right reasons, and telling that guy to get stuffed. He has now been banned. So this morning seems to be a little lively. We've had a couple of YouTube trolls, a couple of TikTok trolls. It's all right. This is the way. We will ban them. We'll get them out of here. Am I going to be at 100% playthrough at some point? At some point, sure, but not anytime soon. I'm only like 85 hours into Skyrim across these 3 characters. There's several hundred hours if I try to do a completionist journey. That is expensive, Allie. Stupid conversions. That's one of the reasons, to be honest with you, it's one of the reasons I've purchased so many games through GOG as opposed to Steam over the years, because GOG gives me regional pricing. So I'll see a game and it's like 40 bucks on Steam, and I go over to GOG and it's $15. It's like, I'm going to buy it on GOG because I'm getting a huge discount for regional pricing. But not every company wants to do regional pricing, especially with new releases.
What the?
Do not run in front of me, girlfriend. I got this covered. Alright, there's the vampire. Now you can run. Oh no! Here, let me get Iron Flesh up because I need my alteration. Mushrooms! Oh! I never saw that my first time through here. That skeleton is like in the pile of rocks. It's a nice detail. Yes, the dollar is, yeah, doing crazy things because of crazy times. Galaxy of Games, yeah, it's GOG is owned, well, it was owned for a long time by CD Projekt Red, but the original founder, who was also part of CD Projekt Red for a time, just bought it back recently. But it's a website dedicated to, it's Good Old Games, actually, I think, not Galaxy of Games. Actually, what is it stand? I think it's Good Old Games, doesn't it stand for that? Anyway, GOG.com. It's an alternative to Steam and Epic It's been around for a long time, but it was mostly for a very long time dedicated to older games. So you can go find all the old point-and-click adventure games and stuff on there, but they will occasionally have new releases on there. So like when Baldur's Gate 3 came out, I got my Baldur's Gate 3 through GOG, not through Steam. I would have to go back and look now. I own quite a few games through GOG, especially older titles. I only recently started using Steam fairly regularly last year because so many of the companies that I'm working with are literally like wanting to send me Steam keys for everything. So it's like, well, I'll just go ahead finally. But it's funny to me because I think on Drop Frames one time, they were all comparing how much money they've spent on Steam over the years, and it's like $30,000 or whatever because they've had Steam accounts for 20 years. And I'm over here going, yeah, I maybe have spent $250, $300 on Steam, and only over like the last couple of years because I just never really used Steam. I was always a GOG guy. But I have used Steam a lot last year. But again, mostly because of companies. Too bad those vampire boots are worth like light armor because my spell perks that I have are totally set up to not use any armor. Is this the Dawn Guard quest? It is. We are working our way towards becoming a vampire with this character. At Serana's hand, I might add. So I'm going to get her as a companion, and then we'll switch out for this merc I've been using. Jesse says we're all along for the ride. I appreciate that. Oh. We don't talk about places to get illegal game keys, so yeah, you're banned immediately. Also, another one is, for those of you who might be new, so as someone who has written and published a bunch of books, done a bunch of games, etc., we don't promote pirating of any kind in this community, and I will come down on you so hard for promoting pirating. I will also come down on you hard for promoting unauthorized emulators or things of that nature. We respect copyright. We respect trademark, we respect intellectual property law, and we respect the founders and creators of games. We support artists and game developers. Pay for your shit. I will ban you so hard and so fast for promoting illegal stuff like that. So, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, I will not be at 100% for this game for a very long time. Like I said earlier, I'm only like 85 hours in, so it takes, I would estimate, probably 250, 300 hours minimum to 100. I don't even know if you could 100% in that amount of time. I think it would take closer to 1,000 hours to 100% the game, which I am not doing. I don't care about 100%ing. I don't care about the... I mean, using mods, I can't even get the achievements, so that doesn't even factor into my playthrough. My playthrough is storyline, so I'm just here to see the storylines that I have. But like, I'm not going to go around and collect every gem of that special gem set. Possibly not going to do all the masks for the mask set. It's cool that it's in the game. Do I have the time and the energy to do all that? Probably not. he got hit by a giant spider. Can I burn you through the wall? No, I cannot. Now, I know he took down a master vampire. Where did the body go? There it is. Ah, I hate it when I accidentally pick up swords. See, unfortunately, all this costs armor, and I don't actually want anything that counts as armor. I don't. Yeah, we're not talking about legal game sites. We're talking about legal game sites. Yeah, Green Man Gaming is completely different.
Suffering you can inflict on me.
I believe you, Vigilant. And I don't think you even know what you found here. So go and meet your beloved Stendar.
Are you sure that was wise, Lokiel? He still might have told us something. We haven't gotten anywhere ourselves with
nothing. He served his purpose by leading us to this place. Now, it is up to us to bring Harkon the prize.
No, I had somebody in chat who was trying to promote one of those illegal places you can go get keys. And it's like, no.
Yes, of course, Lokiel. Do not forget who brought you news of the Vigilance discovery.
I never forget who my friends are. Or my enemies.
Sight.
Nessa's gonna die, and I'm gonna become a vampire by accident.
Do not cause me.
Maybe not. Hopefully not. I think I'm in the clear. I didn't see a message pop up. Good? We're good. Okay, now I vaguely remember this was just pushing these things around until they made the pattern. What is a game key? A game key is like the code that authenticates the version of the game you're playing. So my version of Skyrim has a different game key than your version of Skyrim. So that's how they are identified, is by the serial code, game key, etc. Excuse me. Pure mage? Yes, this is a pure mage. Yeah, Spotify doesn't pay shit.
Spirits upon us. We are not welcome here.
I gotta remember how to do this. I've already pushed it once. Yeah, I gotta... If I remember correctly, when you push these a certain way, they light up. I don't remember. There it goes. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I gotta figure out how to get them all to light up.
What? That it?
Who sent you here?
Who were you expecting?
I was expecting someone... like me, at least.
What do you mean, like you?
Can't you tell just from looking at me? A vampire.
Why were you locked away like this?
That's... complicated. And I'm not totally sure if I can trust you. But if you want to know the whole story, help me get back to my family's home.
Sure. Where do you need to go?
My family used to live on an island to the west of Solitude.
That's right, Thandar.
I would guess they still
We're gonna
do.
convert to her as soon as
By
we
the
can.
way, my name is Serana.
And I'm gonna let her
Good to
turn
meet
me
you.
this time around. Is that an Elder Scroll on your back?
Yes, it is. And it's mine.
Is it fragile? Do we need to be careful with it?
Nothing can destroy an Elder Scroll. Worry more about protecting your hide and let me worry about my things.
Fair enough. Any idea how to get out of here?
Your guess is as good as mine. This place looks pretty different from when I was locked away.
Well, I happen to know that if we go up here, there's going to be some gargoyles, because this is actually a questline I am repeating. I think this is the first questline I've repeated with this character, and the only reason is because I knew from the get-go, it's the other way, that I wanted to become a vampire with this character, so gots to do this questline again. But after this, I don't think there's too much that'll get repeated, other than the Blades questline.
This feels like the right... I'm starting to worry.
Okay. Chesty! Oh. Potion Magica.
Few would dare to trespass in these ruins, but you lack in wisdom. You make a point.
Mushrooms. And if I remember correctly, when I pop this, that will teach you. By the way, I still haven't ever found that ice shard spell that they use, which I would love to get my hands on. I never went and looked for it, but I've been having so much success with fire. I haven't felt like I needed to branch out too much. I vaguely remember. There's like a boss Dwergar or something in here. Let me go through here. She's pretty sane and calm for being locked in a stone coffin, right, Belnoth? That's right, going vamp this time.
Does the air feel heavy down here? I'm a little woozy, but it might just be from waking up.
How many hours do I have in Skyrim? Like total? Like I think 85-ish. Did I do the College of Winterhold's questline first? Yeah, it was the very first thing I did with this character. So if you've missed any of the live streams, the playlist is over on YouTube, so you can watch through things in episodic order. But this third character, as soon as I got to Riverhold, and the shopkeep owner told me about a place where I could go learn spells and become a mage, I immediately went straight. And that's literally what we've been working on for the past 7 streams. Wait, is today the 7th stream or the 8th stream for this character? I don't know.
Again. I haven't missed the sunlight, but I do miss fresh air.
You can apply shortcuts to the left and right on the D-pad. I did not know I could do that. How do you do that is the next question. I don't play that game, developer Maximus. What game have you enjoyed more, Skyrim or Tainted Grail? We don't do that around here. Comparison is the thief of joy. Instead, we focus on what we're playing right now, and we have fun with it. And we analyze each game for what it brings to the table, but what we don't do is compare games to other games. Because that only leads to people being disappointed about certain things. Enjoy each individual game for what it offers. You will get the maximum amount of enjoyment from everything you play. Sorry, set you guys on fire. That might be worth selling. Over here was that shout. Where's it at? I haven't even unlocked the ability to do shouts yet, is the funniest thing to me, because I haven't went and talked to the Greybeards yet. But I've collected like 3 or 4 of these now. Or Word of Powers, yeah. Whatever. Not shouts, but the Words of Power. Well, if no one's going to answer that in chat, I'll have to go look it up. How to apply. I did not know I could set things to the left and right. The D-pad. The video title says this is stream number 8.
It's so good to breathe again.
Perfect.
This weather is incredible. Do you need something?
Tell me about your home.
It's on an island near Solitude. Hopefully we can find a boat to take us there. It's my family home. Not the most welcoming place, but depending on who's around, I'll be safe there.
Copy that. Why wouldn't you be safe there?
Let's just say that my mother and father had a bit of a falling out. Don't worry, I'm not in any danger or anything like that. It'll just be more unpleasant to run into my father.
So apparently, if you go in here, so I googled this because someone mentioned it, but then they didn't do a follow-up. They didn't give me a follow-up on how to make this actually work. Apparently, if you hold, like, right, aha, it'll apply a number. So, out of curiosity, though, okay, that was useful. That's very useful. Okay. Yeah, I had no idea. 85 hours into the game, had no idea that you could do that. I'm gonna put that as a heal. That's pretty cool. That'll help. It'll take me a while to get used to that, but that was pretty cool. For sure. Yeah, I'll have to make a follow-up video for that. Yeah, the quick swap, the favoriting. Yeah. By the way, guys, Twitch has dropped the stream like 2 or 3 times. I'm not seeing anything in the bitrate, so it could be at the Twitch Ingress server because I'm not seeing any issues across Kick, YouTube, or anything else. But it has. I've noticed the Twitch stream has dropped a couple of times, so it is what it is. All right, guys, I am gonna take. We're at the hour and 40-minute mark. I need to take my break, so we're gonna take 5 here before we continue. So go touch some grass, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go stretch my legs, stretch my eyes, grab some more coffee, do all those things that human beings do to keep themselves healthy and well. And I'll see you guys back here in a few minutes. If for any reason the streams drop or cut out or whatever, I'll be back. You know, sometimes I'm backwoods internet. But we're scheduled for like 3 to 4 hours this morning, so we're not even 2 hours in yet. Stay tuned. I just like ran into the kitchen and was like, I made some garlic dip the other day, and I was like, I took a big old dollop of garlic dip with chips, and Chris was like, you do realize we have to go to the city hall today? And I was like, too late now. Somebody's gonna get garlic breath in their face when I go downtown for paperwork. So I forgot to mention this. I got an email like a while back, like 30 minutes ago, and I completely got sidetracked. So they just sent me so when did Dying Light the Beast come out? That was like 4 months ago, wasn't it? The company just now sent me a key on Lurkit for the PS5. And it's like, I'm sorry. You're like 4 months too late. Like, if you wanted me to play Dying Light the Beast, you should have sent me a key when the game was out. Not 4 months later. Because I'm busy with other stuff. Like, that's a fail on the marketing division. I forgot my glasses. That's how you know I'm feeling better. I forgot my glasses. Alright. We have got a long run. We haven't been to Solitude yet either. Let's take a wagon to Solitude. Oh no, without a shadow of a doubt, it was a good game, and I was going to make time for it when it first came out. But when a company sends me a key 4 months after release or however long, it's like, no, I'm sorry, your window of opportunity has already passed. I mean, I'll definitely claim the game and put it in my library on the PS5, but I am not going to play that game just because you suddenly sent me a key. It's like, that should have happened.
Need a ride?
Months ago.
Where do you want to go?
Solitude.
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
Faster. The sun is... It's not great for my skin, if you know what I mean.
First time to Solitude? Beautiful old city. Capital of Skyrim, but I'm sure you'll...
By the way, guys, I think today is the third day of doing live streams through TikTok Live Studio. So I don't know how long it takes for the automatic
stand it.
authentication to go through, but once it gets through, I should be able to apply my virtual camera, set up dual streams, and be able to get back to actually you guys seeing the green screen like we were using for the first few months. Theoretically. I don't know how quickly the authentication takes. Yeah, carriage system's great, Ian. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Hang on. Did I not grab that fast travel, you son of a biscuit? I did not. Hang on, I gotta turn around and run back. I did not grab that as a fast travel. I thought it automatically dinged, but I guess I have to run inside. But also I need to grab my unicorn because I keep forgetting that I have it. Here. She's right here. We're good.
You got business at the stables?
Yeah, picking up my
If
horse.
you want a horse, or Catla if you're looking for work. I can't help you.
How do I get out of here? Get back up the hill. Does the horse have its own stamina meter? appears so. In ESO, it has a stamina meter. Oh, what I wouldn't give for an auto run in this game, instead of having to continually press forward on the thumbstick. This looks like the right way. Is that the Thalmor?
Move along.
Doug, who's there?
Come here, buddy. Come here. Go free.
What?
If you know any true sons and daughters of Skyrim, tell them to head to Renfail.
Run free, little Nord! Run free! Oh, I just noticed you can't turn the lantern on or off when you're on the horse. It's only when you're dismounted. That reminds me of like how you can't do certain things with power armor in Fallout. Like, you're not allowed to craft if you're at the crafting stations if you're wearing power armor. I don't worry about that kind of stuff, NPK. Like, whatever they decide to add to the Elder Scrolls 6, I will happily play. I just really don't care. I leave it up to the game directors and the writers. I trust their judgment. All I'm gonna do is load it up, play it, stream it, have fun with it. Put another notch on my belt, another successful game finished.
Now ain't this a surprise?
Smelly socks, ew. Oh shit. Is there a path? There is. Man, there's a dungeon right up here. Let's grab this as a fast travel, then I'll...
That's it. That's all you've got.
Oh, the wolf can run as fast as my horse. That's interesting. Still doesn't mean I'm gonna stop. Your buddy just sent you a video. He's jumping into the Skyrim for the first time. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad. I am really glad that I had the time to finally play this game. Like, I'm glad that Babylonia started playing it at Christmas and made me go, you know what? I actually own the Anniversary Edition on the Xbox, and I've never sat down to play it. So, shout out first and foremost to Babylonia for inspiring the playthrough. But also, just I'm glad that I had the free time and that it was able to be in a place where I was able to sit down and do this, because I do feel enriched for having finally played this. I definitely feel like You know, I understand now why so many people have called Starfield Skyrim in space. I totally understand it now, as opposed to just, oh yeah, you're saying that because it's, you know, Skyrim was the most recent game, so of course this is, you know, of course Starfield is Skyrim in space. But now that I've played it, I totally get it, and there's a difference. So I have the context now. So yeah, genuinely pleased to have been finally provided the opportunity to play this game. What's up, Felix? Good morning. Have I played Souls games? Nah, I don't enjoy those types of games. What difficulty do I play at? I'm on easy mode / story mode. Pretty much play all the games I play on story mode.
We used to keep a boat around here to get there and back.
As always, if you're just tuning in, don't forget, we're live on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and TikTok. Every single day, we're live at the same time. We're 2 hours into the morning stream. We always start about 5 a.m. Central. Everything in between the streams happens on YouTube. We also do an afternoon session. Usually do about 3-4 hours in the morning, and another 3 to 4 hours in the afternoon. Felix says, I just got the Starfield art book off Amazon. I'm so happy. I have the digital version of the art book that I got with my Ultimate Edition, and it is pretty freaking cool.
Hey, so before we go in there...
Yes?
I wanted to thank you for getting me this far. But after we get in there, I'm going
nice,
to go my own
NPK.
way for a while.
Nice.
I think. I know your friends would probably want to kill everything in here. I'm hoping you can show some more control than that. Once we're inside, just keep quiet for a bit. Let me take the lead.
Lady Serrano's back. Open the gate.
Elder Scrolls is a billion-dollar franchise. There is no chance that Elder Scrolls 6 is getting canceled. That is silly to think that.
This must be that
they are not
Skyrim
canceling
weather.
one of their flagship games in a billion-dollar franchise. Not gonna happen. Yep, Dune Awakening Chapter 3 is coming on February 3rd, and they're getting rid of taxes, correct. That was the stuff I was alluding to the other day that I wasn't allowed to talk about, like, because NDAs and stuff. But I said there's some big changes coming to Dune Awakening. There's also like a big welcome back pack that they're giving to people who come back with a bunch of supplies and other stuff. I mean, they're making, you know, they're obviously evolving their live service product, which is what every company does with a live service product. So for people who are huge into the Dune Awakening scene, it's going to be fun. I will play the story update probably as soon as it goes live. Yeah, they're not going to keep delaying Elder Scrolls 6. Fuck off, I don't want you here. Stupid anti-Bethesda troll. Elder Scrolls 6 has never been delayed. Anybody who thinks that is an idiot. We talked about this earlier. Bethesda is a 3... Nowadays, they are a 3-game studio. They're not a 1-game studio. They used to release chapters in their time, but they still have every 3 to 4 years they have a new game coming out. They have held that schedule for years. The difference is now they're not just releasing 1 game franchise, nor 2 game franchises. Now they have 3. So they did an Elder Scrolls, they did a Fallout, they did Starfield, they're doing Elder Scrolls, then they're gonna do probably another Fallout, and then probably another Starfield. It's not that fucking difficult. And they have, plus they're spread out across multiple, you know, Bethesda is more than just like one studio. Plus they do a lot of producing as well, like with Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Elder Scrolls 6 has never been canceled, it's never been delayed, it's just a project that gets worked on amongst all the other projects. And they launched a brand new IP 2-3 years ago.
How dare you trespass here? Wait, Serrano?
Which is my favorite Bethesda title ever. Starfield rocks.
I cannot believe my eyes.
But we will be back doing the story update for Dune
My
Awakening.
lord, everyone! Serana has returned!
I guess I'm expected.
I'm not going to do any base building or anything, though. We're over that. I will, however, when they do the PS5 relaunch, I will come back and do another big playthrough with a base build.
I trust you have my Elder Scroll.
But we
After
already
all
did our
these
big
years,
base
that's the
build during
first
the
thing you asked
launch.
me? Yes, I have the scroll.
Of course,
She has the scroll.
delighted to see you, my daughter. Must I really say the words aloud? Ah, if only your traitor mother were here. I would let her watch this reunion before putting her head on a spike. Now tell me, who is this stranger you have brought into our hall?
This is my savior, the one who freed me.
For my daughter's safe return, you have my gratitude. Tell me, what is your name?
5 a.m. Central every single morning, 3 p.m. Central every afternoon, live for 3 or 4 hours each time. Always live on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and TikTok, 4 hours each. Main channel is YouTube. There is a scheduled video posted on YouTube that tells you my schedule at the beginning of every single month, what games I'm playing that month, and what the schedule is if I've made any adjustments. We'll be making a new version of that very soon because we're about to get into February, and we have 5 games that we're going to be playing in the month of February, on top of Skyrim. By the way, Skyrim will be moving to the Sunday slots for the most part in the new release cycle, so stay tuned for those adjustments. I am Renfail.
I am Harkon, Lord of this court. By now, my daughter will have told you what we are.
Yes.
Not just vampires. We are among the oldest and most powerful vampires in Skyrim. For centuries we lived here, far from the cares of the world. All that ended when my wife betrayed me and stole away that which I valued most.
What happens now? How about do I get a reward?
I was about to suggest that very thing. Yes, you must certainly deserve a reward. There is but one gift I can give that is equal in value to the Elder Scroll and my daughter. I offer you my blood. Take it and you will walk as a lion among sheep. Men will tremble at your approach and you will never fear death again.
And if I refuse your gift?
Then you will be prey, like all mortals. I will spare your life this once, but you will be banished from this hall. Perhaps you still need convincing. Behold the power! This is the power that I offer. Now, make your choice.
Pass.
So be it. You are prey, like all mortals. I banish you.
Shake it off, buddy. Do I have to take the boat? No. It just wasn't, for some odd reason I wasn't seeing it on the map. Oh look, it's a butterfly. I always chuckle when someone gets a ban, then they make a second account, then they get that account banned, and then they send me an email complaining about the ban and how the ban was unjust. No, you don't get banned from my channels unless there is a reason. And especially, for the most part, I give people multiple opportunities, unless you just come in and say something stupid like, this game is slop garbage, or those types of things. But in this case, we had someone earlier who was being very argumentative about how Skyrim has poopy graphics, and blah, 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 blah. And we let them have their 15 minutes in the sun, and reminded them that they were just being overly confrontational and that they should back off, and they kept on going to the point where I eventually banned them, and then they came back with a second account and said that ban was unfair, and I banned that account too, and then I just got an email saying how it was an unjust ban, and it's like, no bitch, you were warned multiple times. Like, sorry, you've lost your privileges. Man, that's like the kid who just, you know, you tell them over and over and over, stop doing it, stop doing it, stop doing it, stop doing it. You give them multiple opportunities, and then you finally use some corporal punishment, and they're like, why? I'll never do it again, I promise. 5 minutes later. Like, if you have to get, like, if you haven't managed to use your adult brain to understand when someone is telling you to take your foot off the gas, chill out, stop, please, you're being warned, just chill out. If you can't adult your way through that and figure out the context, then no, I'm sorry. The fact that I had to resort to banning you means that you weren't capable of taking your foot off the gas. And I have no space in my community for people who don't understand how to adult and get along with every other people. Like, it's okay to have difference of opinions. We have people in our chat all the time who have differences of opinion, but there is a big difference between having a difference of opinion and respectfully disagreeing. I'll give you an example of this, guys. Beldoth says, I'm taking my ball and going home. Allie disagrees with me on microtransaction DLC stuff. Dribrom disagrees with me on microtransaction DLC stuff. We made that video the other day. Both Allie and Dribrom had some great compelling points to make in favor of their argument and their point of view on that video I did on DLC transactions. Do I ban Allie and Dribrom for having differences of opinions? No, because the manner in which they presented their side of the argument is respectful. It has nothing to do with you having a different opinion. I respect your opinion. It's the manner in which you present your opinion, the manner in which you approach me, the manner in which you act as an adult. If you cannot act like an adult, you're not welcome here. But if you can act like an adult and respectfully disagree and have a difference of opinion, and we can mutually agree to disagree and have a conversation about things, like Lou disagrees with me on the Snyderverse. It's another good example because I love all things Snyder. Jules says getting 2 accounts banned and then emailing takes a level of dedication I haven't had since I was a preteen. Yes, people are so poorly in need of attention. Exactly, Gus. It's the entitlement generation. I'm allowed to have freedom of speech and say what I want. You are. But there are consequences for freedom of speech. T-Dune says, keep seeing you on my TikTok feed. Finally found time to drop in and check out a stream. Well, welcome aboard, T-Dune Leah. Is this my first year playing Skyrim? It is, Pluto. Molag Bal is the real villain. I agree. I totally agree. Dude, that was the hardest fight I did in Elder Scrolls Online. Up till this point, anyway. Wait, was he outside? And I walked right by him.
Look at this. I should have known it was only a matter of time before they found us. It's the price we pay for openly recruiting. We'll have to step up our defenses.
No, I always
you
give
have
the
some
example
good
of my
news for
wife
me.
and I as well. She goes to church most Sundays. She's religious. I am very
Look at
openly not.
this. I should have known it was only a matter of time
I am
before
definitely
they
in the
found us.
atheist
It's the price we
camp
pay for openly recruiting.
slash agnostic camp.
We'll have to step up our defenses.
I respect
I don't suppose you have some good news for
your
me.
right to believe what you want, but I also expect you to respect my right to not believe what you believe. And my wife is a phenomenal example of someone who is religious but respects my right to believe in whatever I want in, or to not believe in whatever I want to believe in. And we have had a very amazing relationship over the past 15 years. I love her dearly. Completely disagree with my wife on all things religion. Same thing with my brother. My brother and his family, churchgoers. I do not agree with my brother on things related to religion. Doesn't change the fact that we have a very loving brotherly relationship. We work together constantly. We founded 2 game studios together. I play games with my brother and his family on Sunday nights. Like, you can have a different opinion than someone and still be friends with them and love them and have them in your life. Yes, Connor, exactly. Mutual respect of each other's beliefs in any partnership. Correct. It's, you know,
Of course.
this new generation of
Why did
people
I
who are
suppose
like, no,
differently?
line in the sand. You're on the
Fine.
other side of the line.
Tell me
Fuck
what
you.
you know.
You're the enemy. That is a modern way of thinking that I don't agree with at all.
A woman trapped in there? That doesn't make any sense.
When people
Who is
bring that
she?
into the
More
community, that's when
importantly,
I'm like, get out of here.
where is she?
She wanted to go home, so I took her to her castle, sir.
I'm waiting to hear what any of this means.
They also have an Elder Scroll.
They what? And you didn't stop them? You didn't secure the scroll?
I'm lucky I made it out alive.
Right. So they have this woman and an Elder Scroll.
Something like
by
that.
the Divines. This
Thanks,
couldn't get
Burns.
much
Appreciate
worse.
it.
This is more than you and I can handle.
No, the Nord Berserker run is over with, Chalks. That finished up a few days ago.
When did I say that? We need help. If they're bold enough to attack us here, then this may be bigger than I thought. I have good men. There are people I've met and worked with over the years. We need their skills, their talents, if we're going to survive this. If you can find them,
there are limits, yes.
you might
Luke.
have a chance.
I can't talk about those things on my channel because of my rule against religion and politics. I think the line I can... Here's what I will say, without making it political. Here's the line I draw in the sand. If you no longer have... So, on pretty much all things in life, I will agree to disagree, turn the other cheek, and allow people to... You believe what you want to believe, do what you want to do. But there is a line in the sand for me, and that line in the sand is the moment that you stop believing that other human beings have rights because of their belief system, their skin color, their sexuality, whatever, where they were born, the moment you start thinking that someone else is beneath you and that they don't have human rights, that's the moment where there is no agree to disagree. You are fucking wrong. Now, that could be taken many different ways. I'm not being political when I make that statement. I'm being factual about the fact that I believe every human being is worthy of respect and decency. And that has nothing to do with religion or politics. That's just one human being to another saying, treat each other as human beings. If you can do that, we're all good. If you can't do that, then fuck you. And that's all I'm going to say on that subject.
Right to the point, aren't you? I like that. Not like those fools in the Order. We should keep it small. Too many people and we'll draw unwanted attention to ourselves. I think we'll want Serene Gerard. Breton girl, whip smart and good with tinkering. Fascination with the Dwemer. Weapons in particular. Last I knew, she was out in the Reach, convinced she was about to find the biggest
Lou says
war
unless there are other
ruins
branches
yet.
of the military, they are inferior, all inferior to the Marine Corps.
Might need a little convincing, but she should. You'll also want to find Gunmar. Big brute of a Nord. Hates vampires almost as much as I do. Got it into his head years back that his experience with animals would help. Trolls
Yeah, there's
in
a song
particular,
coming on.
from
There might
what
be.
I hear. Last I knew, he was out scouring Skyrim for more beasts to tame. Bring the two of them back here, and we can get started on coming up with a plan.
All right, fair enough. Yes, that's exactly the issue these days, Stedman. A lot of people from today's generation are like, your opinion's different than mine, you're my mortal enemy, and it's like, that's not the way it's supposed to work.
Keep your eyes open.
All right. At what point does Serana come back? Is it after we recruit these two? I don't remember. Because I know there's a point in the storyline where we actually get to talk to her again and she offers to become a companion, and I was thinking it was now, but I'm guessing it's after we recruit these two.
Oh, did you need something?
I did not.
I've heard the rumors around Skyrim. I know something's going on, and I've seen the vampires. I felt I had two choices. I could either live in fear of the night, or I could do something to help protect my people. Until next time.
Does it count as stealing if I take all these gold coins that are just sitting here on the
Neat.
Does
That was
not.
just lying around? Good find.
It totally was a good find, bro. Just laying here, man. It's a coin
What can
pouch
I do for you?
just sitting out here in the middle of nowhere, and it didn't say theft, so thank you. Ooh, I love that map. Yep. Yoink! It's mine now. Thank you. Have I heard of her? Have I ever heard of I can't pronounce. Have I heard of Enderall? What is it? Oh, it's a conversion mod. I'm not interested in a conversion mod. Yep. No desire to play in conversion mods. I want to play Skyrim. That's what I'm here to play. Maudib says she'll show up after you recruit the two people. Oh, okay, so it is.
Find
Okay,
Serene
gotcha.
and Gunmar, and maybe we can do something about this mess.
Alright. I couldn't remember if it was before or after we recruit these two, so. And last time I wasn't able to convince these people in both cases. I had to do their little side quests, and I don't have any points in persuasion, so I'm probably going to have to do the little side quests again. What time is it, by the way? I do have some appointments later today. We're still good. Yeah, I'm not a fan for conversion mods at all. Like, if I wanted to play, that's like, it's like, yeah, I don't want to play another game. Like, I'm here to play Skyrim. That's really just the short version, without getting into all the complications. It's like, you know, I appreciate what the Genesis mod has done in terms of creating a really cool Star Wars environment for Skyrim, and I love the fact that Babylonia is playing it and is getting enjoyment out of it. And I could potentially be interested in it at some point down the road, but I'm just like, if I want to play it personally, if I want to play a Star Wars game, I go play a Star Wars game. And I would only be willing to do a conversion mod for Starfield after I've exhausted all the things there are to do in vanilla Starfield. Same thing here. I would need to exhaust every single possible option left for vanilla Skyrim before I consider a conversion mod. Because I'm not here to play anything other than Skyrim. Like, yeah. Again, nothing wrong with them if you want to use them, but for me personally, I want the vanilla experience, and there's a lot of vanilla left on the table for me to still see. Shit, I'm headed in the wrong direction. We need to go southeast. Correct. The Fallen Order series is great. Can't wait for the third one. Also, we've got the pod racing game coming out this summer or spring. It's coming around the corner. There's also the Fate of the Republic game coming. There's another Jedi Knight game coming. There's that game from Quantum... What's the name? Quantum Realms, Quantum Reach. It's another Star Wars game. There's like 6 or 7. Oh, and the Zero Company, which is going to be the turn-based tactical game set during the Clone Wars. Like, there's so many awesome Star Wars games that are coming. I can't wait to play them. Pod Racer is going to be awesome, man. I think it's just called Galaxy Racer or something. I don't know. Looks awesome. Can't wait to play it. That is a big old kitty cat. Who's probably hungry for people like me. Yeah, Jedi 3 is going to be awesome. I can't wait to see how much further down the line they put Cal Kestis. Like, because the last time jump was a few years. It felt good. I'm hoping it's at least 5-10 years down the road. I would be equally happy with just a direct sequel, though. Like, just pick up right where the second one left off. I would be happy with that as well. You know, speaking of, I've never done a full second playthrough of the second game. I did 3 full playthroughs of the first game, but never had time to do a full second playthrough of the second game. I started a New Game Plus, and then never had time to finish it.
You there! Hold fast! I've tracked this damned bear for 2 weeks. I'll not let it have any more victims.
Yeah, that's a big thing, Belnoth. Like, being able to pause the game, save the game, go away, and come back at your own schedule is very important for me as I've gotten older. Like, when I was younger, I was riding that MMO dick really hard, and I was all about it. But as I've gotten older, it's like, you know what? I appreciate being able to save the game, go away for a few days, play some other things, and come back, and not need to be like 100% locked in, on demand. Have I played KCD2? Yep, there's a playlist on YouTube. I own the Ultimate Edition of that game. Also a playlist for the first game. As always, everything in between the streams happens on YouTube, so get on over.
Isran needing someone else's help. Never thought I'd hear that. I'm afraid he's a few years too late. I've moved on. I have more important business to attend to. Besides, he can handle anything alone. He assured me so himself. What could he possibly need my help with?
What up against vampires, sir?
Vampires? Well, that might change things. Tell me more about what's going on. By the 8th. Alright, look. I'll consider it. But I can't just leave this bear to prey on more innocent people. Once it's dealt with, then perhaps I'll see what Isran expects of me.
God, that's a cool shot right there, man.
That'll teach you.
I'm clipping that. That was a pretty cool crit hit as he stabbed it with his sword. Actually, that's not him. That's Janasa. That was a wicked shot, man. Total luck on the crit hit. Oh, man. I gotta say, that's probably the coolest crit hit I've seen for the slow-mo cam the whole time I've played. Did you heat up that soup? That smells delicious. I made spinach soup a couple days ago, and Chris just heated some up, and it smells absolutely divine. I'm gonna have to go have a bowl of that here in a few. I don't know that I ever saw that. Secret door my first time through the game. I don't remember it anyway.
Here we go.
No, I contracted vampirism. I'm not ready for it. I have to wait for her to convert me. I'm waiting for the lady to do it for roleplay reasons. Yes, my love, you can convert me. That's right. It's for science. Is this easily the best RPG, says Jasmine? I mean, it's definitely a great RPG. It is where it is, sales-wise and etc., because of how good it is. You know what? I gotta admit, the first time I played this game, I totally did not see that secret wall during my first time in here. Alright, we gotta go back in there, because I gotta, like, kill all the vamps. Alright, let's try to not contract vampirism this time. Where are you at? Roasty toasty? I think we came away unaffected. Yeah, I think we're good. What were you hiding in here?
Some evil power is at work in this place.
Yeah, it was called vampires. Yeah, just resist, Lou. Resist. What the heck is a vampire naturalist? Is he like oh! Shit, that started a quest. I definitely never saw this the first time. Free Arachnia from its cage. What? Oh, we're definitely reading this. While my siblings may be obsessed with the taste that fear imbues in the blood of mortals, I find that pain leads a much more potent sweetness, and nothing is quite so capable of causing pain as the venom of a frostbite spider. But alas, the usual method of harvesting frostbite venom involves killing a spider. A costly and dangerous venture. Far too little venom can be obtained through violent methods for the experiments I wish to conduct. To that end, I have captured a frostbite spider from deeper in the cave so that I may regularly collect its venom, which seems to be unusually potent. I have discovered that it appears to have some measure of intelligence, and I have been attempting to teach it to obey certain orders. Oh, how delicious it would be to have a tamed spider entangle my prey on command. I think I will name it Arachnia. Dude, am I about to rescue a spider? Oh, I'm definitely getting sidetracked, kids. Free Arachnia from its cage, deeper in the cave. Well, it doesn't like any of my angles so far. Oh, oh, something around there. Oh! Oh! Oh, you little bitch. Holy shit, you can actually have this spider follow you? Wait for me at home. Oh, it's whining. Mirror watch. Grumble. But he can legitimately become a companion? That's cool. What quest am I working on? Asks Whittington. The vampire quest. The Yapcop says the anniversary edition has at least 3 spiders that can follow you. That's interesting. Well, that was a cool little, like, never came across that in the first. You know, I wonder if it's because I didn't have the anniversary edition stuff installed my first playthrough for that first character. So maybe that door wasn't even here. On the vanilla version of the game. So why is it still being tracked? Are the townspeople going to be cool with the spider? That's a good question. Gray says it's always fun to discover after you've gone through a low signal area in the mountains that you were 20 minutes behind the live stream. Shit, is the bear already up there? Well, we'll get up there in a second. Excuse me. Giant spider. Ow, and the bear's on me. No! Kill it with fire! Kill it with fire!
Don't know how well I'd have managed by myself. You have my thanks. You've helped me, so I suppose the least I can do is find out what Isran wants. He's still at that fort near Stendar's beacon, I assume.
Mm-hmm. He said to meet him at Fort Dawnguard.
Of course he did. He's been working on that place for years now. Never lets anyone in. His own little fortress. Well, I guess I'll get to see what he's been up to all this time. I'll meet you there.
Copy that. Now, out of curiosity, did it complete that spider quest? Nah, see, it still says... Huh? I wonder if it'll complete, like, once we exit this cave. That's definitely worth selling.
Careful. Our footsteps will echo in every chamber and tunnel.
Like your mom depleted my vein last... I mean, what? Because I'm cold. My feet are cold too. Huh? No. 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 Hay más sopa. Ah, ok. Voy a comer en un rato porque ya casi está terminando aquí. Sí, por favor, porque voy a terminar en un rato. Por el momento no, solo la sopa. Gracias. ¿Dónde está Lea? ¿Y Dora? ¿Dejaste Blanca libre afuera? Liberarla, por favor. Oh, there's the spider. So it's gonna... Now it's just taking its time. But that's weird how it's still in my quest journal. Pat will be waiting at the specified location. Take a sweet time getting there. Oh, that's a good... Well, no, because that one literally just says... Well, so, that's interesting. So the description of the quest says the journey through Skyrim can be hard and long, and I could use the companionship of a loyal animal. I should inquire in town to see if there are any tamed animals for sale. But then the objective is to free Arachne from its cage, which is completed. However, the quest is about inquiring in town, but I don't necessarily have any town that is like the main objective. So if I had to bet, it's probably a little wonky one where if I find somebody in town that can tell me about, it'll probably give me more options, because someone in chat earlier said that there are multiple animals that you can tame. So it's probably an overall quest to find multiple animals. But the only one I have found randomly was that spider. So that's yeah, I would not know. I have no idea who I even need to talk to in the first place, but that's probably why it's still showing up. Is there somebody, an animal tamer somewhere that I need to talk to? You are a long way from anything that I am close to, so. Oh, I absolutely will look things up on Google if I'm stuck. 100%. That's what Google is there for. Especially with a 15, 20-year-old game. If I'm seriously stuck on something that I can't figure out, I will have no problems looking it up on Google. However, I prefer to look it up myself than have people spoil things in chat. So, it's all good, you know. I got no problems looking stuff up if I get stuck. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap here. I need to go run some errands with Chris, and I got to go eat my breakfast, which she is heating up right now. We'll be back this afternoon at around 3 p.m. So, probably do some more Tainted Grail today, but I'm not 100% certain. I've been feeling the pull of Starfield quite a bit recently, and we're still, because I know I'm about to get really busy once February hits, so I'm sort of like getting everything out of my system before we get into the new release cycle, because once that hits, I got no time to play nostalgia funsies things. We gotta go like the wind. So we'll see. Should be some Tainted Grail this afternoon. But I may change my mind. But we'll be back. If you missed any part of the live stream, as always, I play a lot of games. This is the day job. Everything happens in between the streams on YouTube. So all the playlists are over there. Movie reviews, TV show reviews, discussion videos, and beyond. There's a merch store, a Patreon, a Discord, a homestead channel for the cats, ducks, and chickens, and my wife and I hanging out. Hablando mucho en español, porque la otra página es sobre nuestro homestead en México. Entonces, si prefiere contenido en español, hay otro canal de YouTube. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, happy gaming, treat each other with decency, don't be a dick, live long and prosper, may the force be with you, all the good things in life.